Hello and welcome to Illuminate, a knowledge-sharing series by NoPaperForms. After the great response we received from all of you regarding our previous sessions held on UniPay and other topics, we are back with another carefully curated session to equip and upskill you with the tools required for scaling admissions. This time, our main focus is going to be on how institutions can increase enrollments and boost candidate experience by leveraging the power of Niaa, our in-house AI-powered education chatbot. For this session of Illuminate, we'll be discussing one of the very important parts of the enrollment process, which is nurturing. We would be discussing the importance of personalized and effective nurturing through the lens of automation. And the best part is that NoPaperForms allows institutions of different sizes and capacities to experience the power of AI through its education chatbot Niaa and helps them realize growth. For today's discussion, I'll be your host, Vidharv, a senior product manager over here at NoPaperForms. Along with me, I have Sahil Dash from the product operation team at NoPaperForms.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be part of this session. Hey, Vidar, thank you for the introduction.
You're most welcome.
I'm also looking forward to having great and insightful sessions with you today, where we'll be exploring the challenges faced by the institutions when it comes to effective nurturing process for enrollment. Not just that, we will also share industry insights and discuss the solution for you all to overcome these challenges. This session will help you to experience how we can leverage the power of artificial intelligence through Niaa, our in-house NoPaperForms education chatbot, in order to optimize your efforts, increase productivity, and improve what matters the most in your admission cycle, that is enrollments.
Now, coming to the agenda that we have set for today. For those who are not familiar with Zoom, I'll first quickly cover the ground rules. Please note that your audio and video is mute by default. However, your answers will all go answered, and you can raise any of these questions by clicking on the Q&A icon, which is available on the bottom navigation panel of your Zoom window. You can feel free to share your questions, and we'll try our best to answer them during the session. Even if the time does not allow us, be assured, all your questions will be answered and emailed to you separately post the session. Also, Niaa will try answering all your queries in real time in the chat window. Also, for us to help us understand what problems are being faced by these institutions and by you guys, we'll be having multiple polls which will be open to all the audiences, where a question will pop up on the screen. You will have multiple options to select your answer, and the results of all these polls will be published simultaneously to all of you guys, which will help us understand the problems that are actually being faced. Now, coming to the agenda for today, we'll be first taking you through the traditional approach that has been currently followed by institutions to drive in enrollments. These institutions have been taking enrollments this way for a long time, and they have been faring pretty well. But there are still a lot of things that can be done better, and there are still a lot of problems that are still faced by them. We'll be learning how to tackle these problems. We'll also try to understand how our AI-powered chatbot Niaa works, how NLP is helping day-to-day applicants get their queries answered, and how it is able to deliver the great value to our clients by solving their problems and thereby delivering an unmatched experience to all of our candidates. Lastly, we'll be going through a demo of how some of our clients are utilizing Niaa to supercharge their enrollment processes on a multitude of different channels, be it web, WhatsApp, or Facebook. Now, to get started, let's just have a look at what are the shortcomings that are faced by the applicants when they try to approach a website to understand the courses or the details of the different courses that are offered by them. So let's imagine that an applicant lands on your website looking for some important answers to help him or her decide on his college for the next few years. And not only his college, more importantly, he is deciding his or her future. He spends a lot of time going from page to page, understanding and navigating the content on the website. After getting a few answers on the websites, he even tries to connect with the college team to further get a detailed view of how the process is and how he'll be able to get enrolled in this college of his dreams. But unfortunately, there can be chances where these counselors are just not there on their seats and might be busy with another applicant or might just not be there. By the time the counselor connects back with the applicant, there are very high chances that the applicant has lost his interest in that particular college or might have had just hopped onto some other institute's website for inquiry. And if the new institute taps onto that candidate before you do, this is one lead that you have just lost. Now, Sahil, what do you think is the biggest problem for the institutions in terms of an effective nurturing and engagement in this context?
Good point, Vidar. You have mentioned correctly the challenges and the problems that are being faced by the institutions. I understand that the unavailability of the counselors is a major problem, but I've also seen that most of the times the counselor is connected with the applicant. He is just asked the repetitive questions again and again, which is choking his bandwidth. Also, this choke is bandwidth is not leading to him giving a personalized attention to the applicants, which really are asking important questions. So what is leading to is a blind candidate journey for the applicant, also leading in the loss of time and counselor productivity. So in and all, I would say that the counselor's productivity are being decreased because the repetitive questions have been asked again and again.
Now, as just to understand what all shortcomings are being faced by all of you guys, we have a poll ready, which I'll be just sharing with you guys. I request you all to go through the choices that are there on the screen and please give us your answers such that we can make a better understanding of your needs regarding the same. So as you can see, the poll might be just there and you have 5 different options on the shortcomings that are faced most by these applicants. What do you think, Sahil? What is the biggest shortcoming that has been faced by our viewers today?
I think whether the delayed response time is what is the major concern which the counselors or this applicant face, because Niaa is not present on the website, and at the same time during the night or any other time when counselors are not present. So I think delayed response time is the option I will go with.
Let's hope, Sahil, you're right today. We'll just give another 15 seconds to the viewers to get in their answers and then we can close the poll. Come on, guys. We need some answers. I think we have enough responses now, and I'll be ending the poll. So Sahil, should I share the results? Do you see? Sahil, you were absolutely right. Even our viewers feel that the delayed response time is one of the major shortcomings that is being faced by our applicants, which is leading to a lot of lost opportunities and lead leakages. So I'll stop sharing the thing. Thank you all for making us understand your shortcomings so that we can address them better in the future. Now, coming to the impact that is currently being faced by these institutions. So
now Vidar, I would like to point some few impacts on the institutions that they are facing. Now, for example, applicant is visiting a website to search his query, and as you all know, the current generation has a very short attention span, which makes the applicant getting bounced from the website and if he's not able to get the desired answer from the website in a span of like 20 to 1 to 2 minutes, thus resulting in lead loss. So what is happening here is the students are bouncing from the website and thus resulting in the lead leakage.
Perfect. I understand, Sahil, that this could be one of the reasons that, the applicant is just not able to, find out the information that he's looking for on the website. But I think that there's another scenario whereby the applicant, goes onto the website, he finds a few basic answers, but, these questions or these answers are still not enough for him to, actually make this decision, which is going to affect his whole life, right? So what he does is that, he tries connecting with the counselor such that he can, get his detailed answers, which will help us make his final answer thing. But it might be a case that, the counselor is just not there, or the counselor is busy with another applicant, and connecting with the applicant takes a lot of time. This time is, really detrimental to the student or the applicant interest. And this high turnaround time is leading to high dropout rates among the applicants. Since the attention span of the applicants is much shorter these days, this is leading to a lost interest among the applicants, whereby the applicant just gives up on that college, and he goes on to other sites, and other colleges who will be able to better handle his queries, and he'll be able to service him better.
Yeah, great, Vidar. You mentioned a few correct points here. I would also like to add one more point here. As the student is also losing an opportunity, losing an interest in the college institutions are also losing the opportunity on the applicants. So in this case, both the parties are missing out. The student, which could have been tapped by the institutions so that the student can be converted into an enrolled student, that is not happening here. At the same time, the student is also losing interest. So here, both the parties are getting affected due to this issue that are the traditional approaches have been going on right now.
So basically, we can conclude that this long turnaround times and this bounce rate and this inability to get the correct answers is leading to a very high lead leakage and dropout rates by the applicants, which is losing on to lost opportunities for the colleges, even for those applicants who were the most likely to get enrolled into your college. So now let's go on to Niaa to understand what Niaa is and how Niaa can actually help you add value to your college's enrollment processes. So coming basically, Niaa is an AI-powered chatbot which utilizes NLP, or natural language processing technology. Natural language, if I put it very plainly, natural language processing technology is a part or a set of AI which is mainly focused on understanding or making sense of user-generated content or user-generated queries by understanding the sentiments, the context, and the keywords behind those content. So it actually understands the context, the sentiment that the applicant is trying to convey in his message or his query, and he or she can get the perfect contextual answer, which is answered by Niaa. As you can see, this NLP technology helps in generating major value for our clients. If we look closely, on a normal scale, we have two major stakeholders in our process. The first is the applicant. If we imagine the applicant at the time when he's looking out for colleges, he goes on to Google, he searches for a few colleges, and finally he lands onto your website, which he thinks is the perfect college for him, and which is going to make his life or make or break his life. So after a lot of going through, he's landing onto your website to look for the different courses and their details that are offered by your colleges. If we can think, the applicant is going through a whirlwind of emotions. He has a mixture of excitement, dread, and confusion, all mixed into one. Because he's thinking that, he's confused which college should he take? Which course should he take? Which specialization should he take? So there are a lot of different unanswered questions that the applicant is going through. And this confusion is making him all the more, making him all the more confused on which place to go. So the major value that I see that we can give to the applicant at this very point is that he should get all his answers of all his basic queries answered in real time, which will help him, give him a better experience when he's looking out for those courses and help him decide the college of his dreams much better. Our ops team over here at NoPaperForms is working round the clock to analyze all the queries that have been asked by the applicants to Niaa. There is a way that, we take out all the different questions that whose answers we have still not formulated, and we keep on upgrading our bots such that to make sure that they are updated with the latest answers and questions to solve all of these queries that are coming from the applicants on a daily basis. Or as we like to say in NPF, there is a Niaa which is available for everyone 24/7, 365 days a year. Now, trying to coming to the other stakeholder, which are the college admission teams or the counselors. What is the basic problem that is being faced by the counselor these days, as we discussed in the earlier slide, or that we got from the poll, is that the counselors are stuck in this loop of doing redundant work most of the time, whereby even after connecting with the applicants again and again, he's been asked the same questions, which can be answered in an automated manner. This problem is, choking their bandwidth that is available to the counselors, and the counselors are just not able to focus on the applicants or the queries that matter the most, and which have the best probability of a conversion into an enrollment. But we at NoPaperForms, whenever we decide, whenever we sit for a product roadmap planning about the features that we want to build in Niaa, the basic question that we ask us every time is, what is the value that has been created for the applicant or the counselor? Even though it might be the smallest features, like the student verification process or scheduling callbacks or taking data input from the applicants, all of these tasks can be automated by Niaa, such that this would lead to the applicants not, following up with counselors with the redundant day-to-day questions, and which would lead out to, for the counselor to have a much better bandwidth such that he can focus on the clients who need the most help. All of these features, whichever we build day in, day out, are there to remove the most redundant tasks from the counselor's shoulders, guaranteeing a super efficient working environment for them, such that they can focus on what matters to them the most. Now, Sahil, could you please take us through some of the features that are there in Niaa?
Yeah, definitely, Vidar. You mentioned very good points regarding the challenges and the problems that institutions are facing. Now, I will show you the features that are present in our education chatbot Niaa, which will help with the help of our CRM, the magic of the CRM platform. With the help of these features, how we can tap those applicants into enrolled student and answer their real-time queries so that no student is missed out without his query being answered. So I will cover one by one features in the time. So looking at the first feature, convert inquiries into applicants. So as mentioned here, what Niaa is doing here is, imagine a case. A student wants to inquire for a certain information, which can be around fee structure, courses offered, admission process, scholarship, etc. Now, what we will do, he will go to the website and search for a query. And hovering on the website, he finds out a little challenge to find the answer of his query. Now, as he's hovering on the website, our education chatbot has a feature which is auto pop-up. Let's say after 15 to 20 seconds, the student was hovering on the website and Niaa auto pop-ups on the website. We will definitely show the demo part. So what happens here is, after 15 to 20 seconds, Niaa will auto pop up and will capture the attention of a student, thereby answering his query in such a manner that giving a human touch to the contextual question that have been asked, in the same time replying those questions in such a way the student won't feel like a human machine is talking. Thus, at the same time, these queries will be answered and those details will be land up in our NPF platform CRM, so that the next time the counselor acts upon those leads, he can capture and convert those leads into applicants. Now, the second feature I would like to show is real-time ROI. Now, as the name suggests, ROI shows return on interest investment. Now we have a dashlet in our NPF CRM which shows that how many leads have been captured from our NPF CRM from Niaa, and we have 3 platforms, that is web, WhatsApp, and Facebook. So it will let you know that how many leads have been captured from Niaa web, how many have been captured from Niaa WhatsApp, and similarly how it has been captured from Niaa Facebook. Also, number of applications that have been converted, what is the cost per lead, what is the cost per application, and how many leads have been converted in 1 month, and the number of sessions consumed. So the whole ROI dashboard shows what is the performance of Niaa on day-to-day basis and on a monthly basis. Now I will tell you about our third feature, which is a very powerful feature, which is request to callback. Now in this feature, what happens is, imagine a scenario where a student lands on Niaa and he clicks on a button called as request to callback. Now, as soon as he clicks on the button, the time at which the student has clicked, that time stamp will be printed on our lead manager, so that the counselor will be notified through the automations and the email that this student wants a callback. At the same time, we have a bell icon on the counsel login, which when he will click on that, he will get to know that yes, that somebody has requested for a callback. Now, this feature is not only very powerful, this feature also shows that a student is requesting for a callback. That means this student lead stage should be hot, because this student is really active on his side, that he wants to know something about that. Now, the counselor will call back on the student and get his query done through the chat history. So we have chat history is the feature where the details that have been asked by the student on our Niaa chatbot is captured in our backend. Now, the last intent or the information that a student has asked, the counselor will have an idea. He will have some touch points to where to ask these questions to the students, so that the counselor time is not wasted on asking a particular question, rather jumping on the query that a student was interested. So with the help of request callback and chat history, he can reduce his time and increase his counselor productivity. Now, the third option is available 24/7, 365. Now, I won't tell you much about this option, but what I can say about this feature is, imagine a case at night, 10 p.m. student is coming on the website and he finds out that Niaa is not, that nobody is present to answer his query, and he's not able to even find out. So if Niaa is present there, Niaa will definitely ask his query, or even not ask. She will try to answer the most relevant information and the most closest information that is present with the system. And in the same time, she will also capture those details. So the next time in the morning when the counselor comes, she can talk with the student with the intent that student has asked to him. So this is what the available 24/7 to 365 days our Niaa chatbot makes the experience seamless. Now, there are two other features which I won't call much of a feature, but rather engaging experience, which is smart and personal and nurturing of a student. So our Niaa chatbot engages with the student in a way that student doesn't feel like that he is talking with a robot or a machine. Rather, our content, our Niaa is designed and answers query in such a way that a student feels like his query are answered by a real person, although it is not a real person, but the answers are answered, and those helps in experiencing and creating a nurturing and engaging experience with the student. This also not only helps in the student capturing these details, he will not feel like his details are getting misused, and the data privacy is secured because Niaa assures her or him in such a way that your details are secure. Now, we would like to show you how the details, how the lead is getting nurtured in a personalized manner. Now, imagine a case. There are two cases here. One is for new lead and one is for existing lead. Now, when a new lead comes on Niaa, right, the student will talk with Niaa, and Niaa will ask for certain details like what are your email address, what is your mobile number. So Niaa will ask in such a way the student won't feel like that she is asking for her details. At the same time, after giving those details, she will ask him the other details. Now at this point, what is happening? Niaa is remembering and capturing those details in the lead manager. Now these lead details have been captured. So the next time, now let's jump to the existing prospect. Now the next time the student comes as an existing process on the Niaa, she will definitely check and find out like, hey Sahil, last time you were here, you were existing with us and you were interested in BTech course. And she will give the application button for the BTech course. And the student will click on the website, on the link, and will directly jump on the start application page of the BTech application form. Now, this shows that Niaa not only engages with the student in a personalized and contextual manner, giving a human touch, also it is reducing the time of the student as well as the counselors. Now, we will definitely show you how in the demo part, these details have been captured, right? Whether
But yeah, before the demo, I think Sahil, we should be taking another poll.
yeah,
Just
sure.
get a little idea about, how many of our viewers are actually using candidates, are actually using a chatbot to, to simplify their enrollment process, and how many are still not there, how many are still not using anything like this. So viewers, I will be launching another poll. So the poll is live. We'll be having a minute for you to answer all your questions. So Sahil, what do you think this time?
I think this time also I will be able to answer the right answer.
And what is it? Yes or no?
Are you using any chatbot?
Yeah. What do you think? Most of our viewers are using a chatbot or not?
I think most of our viewers will definitely go for Niaa after this session. And
yeah,
I think those who are not will definitely be seeing how we can more personalize with the help of our education CRM platform. I think I would go with yes.
So let's just give them another 10 to 15 seconds so that, they can just get in their final answers. I think Sahil, let's go for it and let's find out if you were right or wrong.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just ending the poll and I am sharing the results with all of you. So Sahil, as we can see, almost 55% of all our viewers are already using a chatbot. So they're already aware of all the features that we have, taken them through at the moment. So, let's do one thing, okay? Now that we know that there are a lot of different viewers who are already using a chatbot, let's take them, we'll show you exactly what is the power of Niaa when you integrate it with the NPF chatbot, when you integrate with the NPF panel. There are, as you might be knowing, there are a lot of different modules that the NPF panel has to offer. So when you combine the forces of all of these modules together, what you are able to achieve is truly amazing. And, you are able to connect the whole flow from the moment the applicant or the user or the applicant came to find the correct answers for it, and till the point that he's able to, finally enroll. So you can go through the whole process and the whole cycle. So let me take you through the whole process that the child goes through. So for example, let's see, let's imagine that the college has a WhatsApp icon, which is there on the website of the college. And the applicant lands onto the website, and he's going through the website, he's looking for answers, but then he needs a little bit of support finding the right answers, going to the right pages, right? So he clicks on the WhatsApp icon, and the moment he clicks on the WhatsApp icon, there's a default message that is that is behind that link. And the moment he opens his WhatsApp and he clicks on send, this message is sent on to this message is sent to the WhatsApp numbers or the WhatsApp business numbers that are registered with the college. So the moment this happens, the message, even though it came from a WhatsApp business number, Niaa can take over the whole conversation from this point on. And as you can see in the first screen, Niaa captures the name along with the mobile number of the applicant and makes a lead in the system. Due to this, the Niaa is able to fire highly contextual messages or replies to the applicants. So as you can see in the first screenshot, the message that has been fired is greetings for the day, Sahil. So Sahil, it's yours. So greetings for the day, Sahil. And this name, Niaa, automatically, we didn't actually put in this name, or no one actually put in this name into the LM. We automatically captured this name from the name that was configured on their WhatsApps. So, Niaa is able to reply to such messages in a highly contextual manner, where the applicant feels that, he's well known, that people know about him, and, they can better converse with them, knowing about the details. So in the first messages, as we can see, so there's a menu that is being given to the applicant. In this menu, as you can see in the second screenshot, when you open this menu, there are a host of different options that are available to the candidate. So the moment he messages Niaa sends out a welcome message where she says that, you can ask me any question on any of these topics. And the applicant can choose any one of these options to actually get his queries answered for any of these categories. So for example, let's take an example where the applicant has chosen courses offered from this drop-down list, because he's looking out for courses that are being offered by this college at the moment. So the moment the applicant does that, he clicks on courses offered and he sends out the message to Niaa. Niaa captures this value or this response from the applicant and stores it in the system, and in turn replies with another question where she asks him, like, is there any what degree is the applicant trying to pursue, such that we can be more contextual in nature, where we can actually understand, or we can actually give him the details of the course that the applicant is actually looking for. So similar to the earlier thing, the applicant gets another message on his chat window in WhatsApp, where he's shown a list where by clicking on the list he can choose a course. So from this list we can imagine that the applicant has just clicked on engineering, as he's looking to enroll himself into an engineering college and and become an engineer later on. The moment the applicant clicks or chooses engineering from the list, another question is, another message is fired from Niaa, whereby Niaa is asking him what are the exact details that the applicant requires. Is it the fees that he wants to know? Does he want to know about the eligibility? Or does he, just want to download the whole brochure for engineering, the whole engineering specialization? And, he can know all the details about that. So as you can also see, the moment the applicant clicks on the brochure, another message is fired from Niaa, where the whole brochure is sent out to the applicant, which can be downloaded by him to answer all his queries. But since we have connected Niaa to our NPF panel, this is not where it ends. This is not where the whole thing ends. So what happens is that, your marketing teams or your internal teams decide to retarget these candidates who have downloaded the brochure from from Niaa, and they want to just target, they just want to target all of these applicants again, asking them, has the brochure answered all of their queries, or is there anything still left that they want to be answered? So what they can do is that they can use the communication module from the NPF panel and send out a bulk message to all those applicants who have downloaded the brochure through Niaa. This message could be as simple as, hi Sahil, you had downloaded the brochure a few days ago for engineering. Would you like to know anything more? So it's a way for the colleges to reconnect with the applicants after the applicants have already left the conversation. So this brochure download might have had happened a couple of days ago, a few days ago, but the college wants to follow up with him. Was the brochure helpful to him? Did the brochure, actually handle all his queries or not? So the moment this happens, the applicant gets an option to choose. Did did it answer all his queries or not? If it didn't, he can there and then choose the details that he wants to know. So for example, in the whole list of options that are available to the applicants, there's another option that is available, which is connect with the counselor. So maybe there is another query that, that is just not listed here, that Niaa isn't trained for still. So what he can do is he can connect with the counselor. He can just click on this button that is available on the list. And the answer will be, this connect with the counselor response will be recorded by Niaa, and it would be entered into the LM field. Now, when we connect the NPF panel, the moment this entry is made into a field in the lead manager system of our NPF panel, that moment is where the automations start to happen through our automation module. If you might be knowing, we have a very robust automation module, which, so the moment this response is received from the candidate, there are 3 or 4 steps that happen. So the first thing that happens is in this automation, so the moment this response is received, an email is fired to the counselors, letting him know, or a notification is fired to the candidate counselors, letting him know that an applicant wants to connect with him regarding some of the queries that he has. So, and the second step that happens is through the automation, the lead stage of the candidate is marked as super hot, because he wants to connect with the counselor. We want him to be at the top of the list when the counselor comes back onto his system, such that he can connect with the applicant and answer all his queries, just to get him through and help him or handhold him across to enroll him into the system. So the moment this happens, first thing that happened is that we have alerted the counselor. The second is that we have updated his lead stage. So all of such candidates who have just entered responses into the whole system could be targeted by the counselor when he logs onto the system, as soon as he logs onto the system. This would help close the whole loop and would not let any applicant queries go unanswered or unrecorded. So this remarketing tool helps you to actually, target your clients or your applicants who have already, conversed with Niaa in the past, but are still not enrolled into the system. So this helps the counselor close the whole loop. He knows that the interest, and, he knows the candidate's interest, and he can close the loop by this, by actually, helping him or hand holding him to get enrolled into the system. So this is how NPF's panel helps you in actually closing the loop from the conversations that were received through Niaa and the interactive messages that the applicant was able to answer through Niaa WhatsApp. Now, Sahil will take you through the web bot, and he'll show you how you can actually go and fulfill his things on the web bot itself. Sahil, you may take it.
Yeah, thank you, Vidar. Also, I would like to say that the whole power that Niaa comes is with our education platform, that is NPF, because of the whole umbrella that we provide. Through that, we can channelize the students so that they are able to nurture the students. Now, Vidar, thank you for the part. Now I'll just show the demo part to the audience. Now imagine a case, this is a website, a student comes on this website, right? And he's hovering on the website, finding his details somewhere here, and checking out the website. Now you see Niaa automatically popped up, right? So this is one first feature, which is the auto pop-up. Now, for example, a student is hovering on the website for 10 to 15 to 20 seconds. Now, this timestamp we have enabled in our backend, which lets the Niaa auto pop up. Now, as soon as Niaa auto pop up, and you can also imagine there are around 80 to 90% of applicants, those who come from the mobile, they don't use website. So as they are coming from the mobile, this whole Niaa takes over the website in such a manner that the whole website is covered up with Niaa, our education chatbot. Now, as you can see, here is our video, which is also present, which also the college can place their video so that the student have an idea about how the institute generally has its infrastructure, its faculties, is the life, the courses offered, any video they can put here, right? So for example, if it is a video here and if I play here, one thing that never dies in NoPaperForms is the, so this is what our video is there, and the same can be done from the institute perspective also. Now as you can see here, there are two messages that have been popped up right now. Now these messages may look like the student we are asking for details, but this is what the power of contextual chat comes into play, where the details have been asked in such a manner that the student is not feeling like he or she is talking to a machine. Rather, some person or counselor is sitting there who is able to answer his queries. Now, let me show you a real life example for a new lead and existing lead. Now, for example, I enter here a lead. Now, as you can see, this lead was already existing in the system as an existing lead. Now, Niaa has already recognized me with my name and has already sent me an email OTP verification so that Niaa is able to capture the verified leads only, and no duplicate or data privacy is hampered here. So let me enter my existing OTP details.
So as you can see, for every lead, which is already existing in the system, when they try to connect with Niaa, they are made to go through an OTP process so that, we can be sure that the data that we are going to share with them now, or the changes that they can make into the system, are truly correct. And nothing like this, is going, or no data privacy rules are hampered in the whole process. Yeah. Otherwise, Sahil, you can just show how how an existing lead or a new lead goes through the whole process.
Okay, I think the email OTP might come in few seconds. Let's just show them how a new lead is, enters through Niaa, right? For example, I can show you if a student comes with an email ID. So take this as a test lead. Now, Niaa is asking for the mobile number, and at the same time, she is also telling, "I promise I won't spam," and we don't spam. So this is what we do in what we were saying is data privacy, right? So let me enter my mobile number here.
I
Now,
hope this becomes a little faster.
yeah, I have received an OTP this time.
Perfect.
In fact, I have received for email also.
Oh.
Now this lead is verified, right? So what we were saying is no child can come and enter the email mobile number of some other person. So here we are showing that we are data private, we keep the data private, and also the email, the lead that is coming is very verified lead. Now as you can see, she is contextually talking with the student in such a manner that giving a human touch, and the student is not feeling like that he or she is talking with the machine. Now there are few options here. Now for example, student wants to know what are the courses available. So if the student type what are now the course detail that have been present here are three options. The student can click on any option. He clicks, for example, on BTech. Now he selects the specialization ECE. Now here you can see the information have achieved on the and our Niaa chatbot. Now the student goes on the chatbot and hovers and find out some other details. Later on, for example, later on he finds out that he wants to inquire about the fees. So he types, what is fees? Now here you can see the fee details that have been shown here is for the electronic and communication engineering and not for any other course details. Now this shows that this is a contextual chat and URL personalized chat. That means a student has selected electronic and communication engineering at the start of his communication, and Niaa has captured that intent and answered it gracefully for electronic and communication engineering also. Now, this is what we call contextual chat. Imagine a case, imagine this website is for civil engineering. Now, student enters on this website and types his query. So in this case, Niaa will answer only related to the civil engineering questions and not any other questions. So this is how Niaa is able to answer the chat in a contextual and a personalized manner. Now I will show you what all other features are present in our NPF CRM. Now here you can see I have the lead manager of a demo page. Now here what you can see here is that, sorry, yeah. So here you can see, as Vidar mentioned earlier also, about the WhatsApp process, that how the leads are getting, how the student is inquiring, at the same time the data is getting captured, right? So here you can see that my mobile number is not present. Now I will send a hi message from my WhatsApp number and the lead will be automatically created without child even knowing that his lead details have been created. At the same time, his queries will be answered. Now, as you can see here, a lead created in the runtime when I asked for hi message. Now you can see the name that is coming here is a name that is present with my WhatsApp number, and this is the WhatsApp number that is present. Now student has just inquired for some query, but you can see in the lead manager the details have been captured. So this is what the WhatsApp, which is very powerful tool, which is used by a lot of students, is capturing those details in the real time.
So now that, Sahil has taken us through the whole process of how a lead is actually created through WhatsApp and how how a web WhatsApp offers the whole services or the features for the applicant to take over, for the applicant to get all his queries answered from the website itself. So, now coming to the growth impact that Niaa has on the whole process. So as you can see, we have already discussed that Niaa is offering higher enrollment rates, whereby Niaa is actually helping the counselors focus on the applicants' queries, which are the most important to be handled, and the redundant queries are being handled by Niaa in an automated manner, which is helping us to unload the bandwidth from the counselors and helping those applicants enroll much faster. Also, Niaa is present on all three different channels, be they web, WhatsApp, or Facebook, thereby giving the same experience to all the candidates, be they coming from web, or be they messaging on WhatsApp, or be they messaging on Facebook. Also, Niaa is able to give out a delightful counseling experience whereby the applicants can get the correct answers from the counselors without the redundancy that is being offered. Also, as Sahil very well discussed, that the ROI that is there is available real time to us, and it can be analyzed on a daily basis or a monthly basis, making you understand, or helping you understand the ROI that is being given out of Niaa. So finally, as we can understand, we have gone through the problems that are majorly faced by colleges these days, where they are trying a traditional way of enrollments, and how Niaa can actually help them get over these problems through a variety of different channels and through a variety of different features, thereby alleviating the pain that the counselors face, and thus helping the applicants get a better enrollment process or get a better experience from the same counselors, thereby, driving up enrollments into the system. Also, now, now that we have gone through the whole presentation, we hope that, we have tried our best to address the issues, and those, the questions that are still left will be definitely, answered, and we will revert to you by mail on your personal email IDs. Those who feel any support is required from our end, do reach out to us, and we'll be more than glad to connect with you and work with you on, enabling you to have a better enrollment process.
Thank you once again for joining us for this session. Do write back to us for your feedback and suggestions. And if you have any topic which you want us to pick and discuss in length, do let us know. Stay tuned for upcoming session. It was a pleasure to have you all, and thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe and happy upskilling. Thank you guys.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.